Hey guys, today we're going to talk about that anxiety that you feel like when you're not sure what to do. So, um, this can be really frustrating for yourself, like your self esteem. It can also be very frustrating if you are married and your husband keeps doing whatever the family says. Like he's got narcissistic parents and, he just does whatever she says. And you, as the wife, you're just frustrated. Or as the husband, you're frustrated. Like, why does this other person have so much control over my life? That should be between the two of us to decide. Or if you're single, that's just my decision. Okay. So why do I always have to go and find validation from them? So I'm going to say this. Okay. Try to be patient with your husband if he keeps going back and doing whatever his mom says. Not patient, like accept it and that's how it's going to be, because it shouldn't be like that. But I would like you to think about it sort of like this. Okay. When you grow up in that kind of family, I use this example for one of my friends, and it's like you're growing up in this swimming pool surrounded by crocodiles. Okay. So you got the big fat crocodile in the pool with you. And it's always there and it's always around you. But you know that if you turn your back to it, it will attack you. And this crocodile has this sort of unspoken deal with you that if you hang out with it, it's not going to rip you to pieces. But the second you try to break free, the second you try to just lift yourself out of that pool, that crocodile no longer has use for you and it will tear you apart. So you couple that with the fact that all around the pool deck are other crocodiles. And when the big crocodile gives the word, the other ones come swarming all around you. So even if you can swim away and be sneaky, or swim away and be fast, they have accomplices. Those are the flying monkeys. And these crocodiles are all around you and they coerce you back into the pool. So they're all stuck with that thing. And it wants you, so you're going to have to stay there. And the thing is, like, if you grow up like that, it's very intimidating. Once you break free, and I hope that you do. Once you break free, you realize those crocodiles have no teeth. They're threats. They're empty threats. But they've been doing it for so long, and they started on you when you were so young. They started on you when you were so young that you don't understand that they're all bark and no bite. Now, with the narcissist, you always have to be careful about the violent aspect of it, because they are violent. They kick and scream when they don't get what they want. And some of them can be like, you might have to get a restraining order. You might have to get the authorities involved. Yes, that is true. And it's not fun. And it's very heartbreaking. But the alternative is that you stay there with those crocodiles. And if you don't want to be there, why should you be there? So if you are a wife that is frustrated with your husband because you feel like he doesn't have backbone, or you're frustrated with yourself because you don't have backbone, cut yourself a little bit of slack and not continue in that way. But you don't have to beat up on yourself, and you definitely don't have to beat up on him. Okay, if he's trying to break away. Now, if he tells you you're crazy, mind your own business, he's got it, his family, you're in a different situation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who are trying to break free and they have these ties to them that they still struggle. They want to break free, but they don't know how. And they didn't even realize how much power they gave over to these people until you're pointing it out. And so if your husband's with you and he understands that this is not right and he doesn't want a part of it, then great. But you understand that it's hard, because you're raised to tolerate things that are just not right, but you don't know until somebody else comes in, okay? Because your whole family is encouraging that behavior, the lack of boundaries. So try to be patient, try to be encouraging, give yourself a little bit of slack. Don't be beating up on yourself. You're not weak. You're not weak. You're not useless. You're not helpless. But you've been trained to second guess everything. And the thing is, they start on you when you're so young. It's really cruel and evil. And I heard this story once. I don't know if it's true, but it fits perfect. Okay, so like the elephants at the circus, right? They're huge, huge, and yet this tiny little man controls what they do. And you think with all the power and the strength that this elephant has, if he doesn't like to be in the circus, he could just leave. He just rip that pole right out of the ground and just take off. Like, you can't, he's big and wild and spirited. You cannot hold him if he doesn't want to be held down, okay? But what I heard was that these elephants, they get them when they're babies. And so when they're babies and they're young, they try and try to get away from that stake that's pinning them to where they are. They try and they try and they try. They get in trouble for trying, and they're not strong enough because when they're little, that stake can hold them down. But the thing is, after so many years of them, or however, they're growing and they try and try and try and they keep failing, they can't break free, they can't get their independence. So then they feel like they're never going to have it. And these elephants don't realize that they're strong, that they've grown up. They have a lot more power than they thought they did. And if they tried right now, they can break free, no problem. But they were broken. Their spirit was broken. They were trained as tiny little things to accept their surroundings. And they tried when they had the wild spirit, they couldn't break free. They were vulnerable. But as adults, now they can leave. But mentally, they have been tricked. They don't think it's possible. They don't recognize their own strength. So I'm going to say to you, my friends, that if you are feeling like you can't break free or you don't feel strong enough to be on your own, you are strong enough. You are. You can break free if you want. If you're married to someone and you think that, I've been married to him for 15 years and I'm not smart enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, I say give yourself a chance. And if they're constantly telling you that nobody likes you, it's probably because people do like you. They just trying to break down your self-esteem, make you feel dependent to that spouse, make you feel dependent to that parent. But if you remember that their end game is to control you and to keep you close and either use you for company or use you as a punching bag or use you as a playmate or use you as somebody who takes care of their errands, they have an interest in keeping you tied. So if you're not happy in a relationship like that, if you are not happy being disrespected and emotionally abused, and you think enough is enough, but you're scared because you think you can't make it on your own, I guarantee you, if you can survive living with a narcissist and they haven't successfully pushed you to suicide, you're a lot stronger than you give yourself credit for, because they are relentless, and they're probably dealing with them this hurricane of a person coming through your life all the time. They're so stressful that if you can handle that, you can handle anything. So give yourself credit, cut yourself a little slack. Women, I know it's unattractive when your husband is having these issues, but try to be a little sympathetic and try to hit encouragement mode. Try to encourage. Because if they are trying, if they do see a problem and they don't like the situation, you have to give them time to break out of it and give them the support, because they have never been supported. They've only been abused. So that would be my recommendation for you today. Okay. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope so. I know things can be really dark and sad, and you can feel really low, but it's amazing how your life can change and you can hit that happy stride. Okay. And as always, I'm going to always recommend that you pray and you try to get close to God. Reach out to Him, whether if you don't know Him, get to know Him. It doesn't have to be formal. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to know anything. You just have to have an open heart. Open heart, pour your heart out to Jesus Christ. Ask Him for help. And He is going to give you so much more help than I ever could. But this video today is just to encourage you, because I've been there. I've felt so low that I could not even get out of bed. So I understand how hard it is. I understand how heartbreaking it is. But just keep going and turn the page. Okay, I hope this video today helps you. Feel free to leave your comments below. Share this video with somebody who you think is hurting. I'm always here for you guys. So, and I do read all the comments, and I appreciate your stories. I will talk to you guys again soon, and hope you have a great night.